Right folks, welcome back to Fishing with Kirk. So we're going to go on Friday for 24 hours to the tarn. We're going to have our approach centred around particles because the crays are pretty active. So instead of putting loads of attractive fish meal baits in, we're going to go with the particle mix. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start to prepare our mix. We're going to start to show you how do we prepare our tiger nuts. Okay, so there's two ways to source tiger nuts. Either you can collect them fresh, or because we're kind to animals on this channel, you can buy some good quality dried particles, and we're going to show you how to prepare them right now. So to begin with, you're going to pour them in a bucket and we're going to soak them for 24 hours. Right folks, welcome back. It's Monday evening and the tiger nuts have been soaking in this water all day. It's been quite a warm day, so they've really taken on quite a lot of liquid and they've at least doubled in size. You can see already the colour of the water has darkened, so what we need to do now is we need to put them in the pan. You do that, buddy, for me. And what that's going to do is we're going to boil them for 30 minutes. Good boy. So what we're going to do is we're going to boil them up on the stove outside so we don't have any smells inside for about 30 minutes, and that'll just soften them up nicely and make sure that the carp can digest them and there's no problems. Do have a bit of a secret ingredient, so we're just going to put a little bit of honey in there, which will help with the next stage of the process, which is where we're trying to ferment them and get that real runny gooiness. So I'm just going to put in, I don't know, guesstimate a tablespoon of honey. Like that, and then we're going to put them on for half an hour and we'll show you what it looks like then. Right folks, so the tiger nuts have been on the boiler for the last 30 minutes, so we're just going to check them out. So go and have a look, Hud. I'm going to take the lid off. So they're still steaming. Okay. And that's what they look like now. So they've swollen up a little bit more, but it should feel softer. So yeah, you can feel there's definitely some give in these. So the way we're going to test these is to make sure that we could crunch them with our teeth. We can crunch them with our teeth. Carp can crunch them with theirs. I know already there's a lot. Yeah, see that? So that's just bitten straight in half. So that's how you can tell that your tiger nuts are ready. So they're ready to use, but how we're going to make them even better is we're going to leave them in this bucket until Friday. And what they're going to do is they're going to start to ferment and they're going to start to get a bit gloopy and they're going to get even sweeter than they are now. So we're going to let them cool down. We're going to transfer them into this bucket and then we're going to leave them until Friday, loosely covered, and hopefully we come back, the liquid will have gone a bit of a milky white, which means they're really sweet and tasty for the carp. So that's how you prepare your tiger nuts. Right folks, good morning. It's Thursday morning. We're 24 hours ahead of our session at the tarn, so I just thought I'd show you how the tiger nuts are progressing. So we've left them in the garden in a loosely topped bucket, and as you can see, what's happened is the liquid has started to change colour, and there's quite a few bubbles coming off them, so they've started to naturally ferment. So what that means is all the natural sugars are coming out of the tiger nuts and they're really getting now, you know, quite soft, and the liquid is quite sweet. So hopefully the carp are gonna love those. So in terms of how we're gonna fish these, really simple in terms of the rig. So I've tied up this morning one of my classic coated braid rigs. So it's about 7 inches long. You can see there a tiger nut just tipped with a piece of fake corn. I've actually tied this rig up to one of these L&D Sharps wide gape size 6, so some new hooks that I'm trying, but they do look incredible. They're hand sharpened, really super sharp, and they look really strong. And then I've just finished that off with a bit of rig putty just to keep everything pinned to the bottom. So it couldn't be simpler really in terms of approach. So we're going to try this tomorrow at the tarn, feeding plenty of particles and fishing a couple of rigs like this over the top. So fingers crossed we put some fish on the bank tomorrow. So one thing I'm going to do ahead of the session tomorrow is I'm going to add a kilo of these SC Baits Pro Nut. Really nice nutty bait that'll complement the tiger nuts really well. So I'm going to add now a kilo of those into the tigers, so they can actually start to be washing out within the tiger liquid. So we're getting the best of both worlds. I'm going to crush a few up, I'm going to leave the majority of them whole, and they will go in with the mix. The idea being that they're a nut-based bait rather than fish, so the crayfish won't get too attracted to them. Hopefully the big 25 pound plus carp will get attracted to them. So whole kilo of these going to go in, and we'll create that as a mix, and we're going to leave that overnight just to wash those boilies out. So I'll get cracking with this.